This is Cults Unpacked, and my name is Danny Clayton. We're going to take a quick trip to Japan to explore the cult of Aum Shinrikyo. In 1995, a bioterrorist attack shook the foundations of Tokyo when sarin gas was released into a subway, killing 13 people and injuring thousands. To help us understand a little bit more about this cult, we have Joe Thornley, writer, author, and cult specialist. Joe, this was a fascinating cult because it was run by a very fascinating person. Can you tell us a little bit more about him?
Aum Shinrikyo was led by Shoko Asahara, who right from childhood had kind of an interesting life. He was born almost completely blind and went to a school for the blind where he was able to see the best. So he used that to exploit other students, and that was a habit that really kept him going. That plus a grudge that he wasn't voted onto the school council meant that pretty much for the rest of his life, he wanted to really show everyone that didn't think he'd become anything. And a grudge plus Shoko Asahara equals him really wanting to kick off World War III, which had some pretty bad consequences.
I mean, as an ideology, it mixed Hinduism, Buddhism, and the best part of Christianity, which is the apocalyptic nature of extremist Christianity. So with this doomsday idea, how was that used to control the cultists?
Well, yeah, like a lot of cults, it was kind of a grab bag of religions. And Shoko liked to attract, through yoga, the gateway exercise, a whole lot of really intelligent techie nerds because he wanted them to build the means to end the world. He really wanted to build a massive laser that could cut buildings in half, but because that was quite expensive, he settled for them learning how to make sarin gas. But getting people to prove their loyalty to him involved a lot of punishments, including being dipped into scalding hot water and your classic beatings. But you could also buy a bit of Shoko. Shoko claimed to have sort of God DNA in his system. So he made a lot of money. You could buy vials of his bathwater to drink, or you could buy clippings of his hair to brew into a tasty Messiah tea, or he had a helmet that he would put on with lots of electrodes. He'd pop it on, think God thoughts, and then you could hire or buy these helmets for a lot of money to absorb the thoughts of your God.
Wow. Messiah tea doesn't seem too appealing to me, but hey, it might not be for everybody. Now, one of the things that was quite fascinating is the way that they actually used the sarin gas to kill the people in the subway. It wasn't very high tech.
Like kind of sinister Mary Poppins, Shoko sent a handful of his followers out onto the subway, and in their bags they had wrapped plastic bags full of the liquid that becomes sarin gas and some sharpened umbrellas. So they got on the trains, dropped the bags on the floor, and then quickly punctured them with their umbrellas and got off at the next station. It's, for all his love of technology, it was pretty basic.
And in 2018, the death sentence was carried out. What kind of reaction did that encourage from Japanese people? Is there peace now?
There's not. There are still Aum Shinrikyo followers. It's split into a couple of different smaller cults, but there's still a bit of this apocalyptic doomsday theme to them. So Japanese authorities are really keeping a close eye on those groups.
And finally, Joe, what did the people come to this cult for, and what did they get?
They joined for a high-tech, apocalyptic World War III starting elite group, and they got the opportunity to gas people on a train.
That doesn't sound like a very wholesome cult at all. This has been Cults Unpacked.